Hello my friends, welcome back to another best of 5. Today we're going to be having a look at a game played between, well, a series played between Classic and DPG herO, also known as CG Antis herO, the smiling assassin. So not the guy that used to be in Liquid. No, instead we have the herO that the last BlizzCon he played in 2019 managed to get top 16. I think he lost to Raynor in the final match there. Raynor went on to get second place in that tournament, losing to Dark in the finals, beating herO in the semis, of course. I think he lost 4-1 or 4-2 to Dark that year. And that's the last, I believe, we saw of herO. herO then went into the military, or shortly after went into the military, and he came back recently. So, first of all, welcome back. Now, Classic is similar. Classic that year got to the round of 4, where he lost to Dark. He played against Rogue with a strategy that was kind of wild. He introduced the DT Blink build on World of Sleepers there. I've discussed this before, I spoke about it before, which was quite a wild build. We've seen it used a couple of times since then, but not as much. The build isn't actually that good, but to throw it out in a Game 5 in the round of 8 of BlizzCon, that required big balls, and it's something that Classic definitely had, and probably still has. I don't think they got any less while going to the military. So both players coming back, I think around the same time actually. A month or so ago at this point, month and a half I think probably. And yeah, curious to see how good they are right now. For Classic this is an important test of skill, because he managed to qualify for GSL Code A, and there his opponent is going to be Zest, who seems to be in a fantastic shape at the moment. Managed to win 2 EPT Cups about a week and a half ago. Taking out Zaun in the finals, and I think he also won an EPT Cup the week before. So yeah, he's had good PvP, and I'm curious to see how good Classic's PvP is as well, because in order to take out someone like Zest, yeah, you're gonna need very solid PvP. Zest tends to be very aggressive. We'll see if herO can put on the aggression in a similar way. So far, opening up with 4 Stalker and a straight Twilight Council, rather fast Twilight Council, and no battery here. Follow-up is going to be an Oracle here after that Sentry Stalker opener. For Classic, herO's getting a lot of damage done here with the first 4 Stalkers. Will now be able to target down this battery. I think he could have stayed here actually and kept attacking that battery. I don't understand why he wants to trade shield versus shield, but perhaps he knows something that I don't. We have 2 more Stalkers on the way. Those 2 will stay home, and I guess 2 Adepts will get warped in here, or are we going to see a Dark Templar? Perhaps a Dark Shrine. It is something now. It's going to be 2 Stalker, Blink, and I guess a Gateway then? Or I don't quite know what it is. Maybe Dark Shrine on the low ground. Okay, Gateway on the low ground. Interesting. Looks like it would fit here to me, but I mean, he gets to do what he wants. He's a big boy. Now the Oracle comes in, and all the Stalkers just moved out. So all of a sudden, this push that is more supposed to be a poke is going to become pretty all in, because Classic is just killing every single worker here with his Oracle. That's an issue. 11 workers have gone down, or at least, yeah, 11 kills. Second Oracle flies in as well, so I don't think he can even wait for Blink. Like, he's trying to chrono boost it out, but that's 60 more seconds, a full minute, where you're mining half the resources of your opponent is not quite what you want. Classic right now is getting his own Twilight Council, will be able to continue warping in units. I wouldn't even mind if he'd start a Void Ray at this point. Alright, it's gonna get a 3rd Gateway, I do like that, wants to up the production. Keeps building Stalker after Stalker after Stalker. Still a single Oracle alive, one of them must have died somehow, I didn't quite see how. 12 workers remaining right now for herO, yeah. I think Classic absolutely knows what's going on here. He says, okay buddy, the only way I can lose is if you kill me, and you need to kill me within the next 30 seconds. herO's going to be waiting for Blink, but there's just no way. There's no energy here, or almost no energy left from this Oracle. Still will be able to target down 3-4 workers before he needs to return home. 17 kills, and every single one of those is a probe. Now here comes herO. 12 Stalkers against 9. Blink against no Blink, but also 4 batteries against 0 batteries. And if you can't one-shot Stalkers anymore, this just isn't going to be enough. I think herO is absolutely dead here in game number 5 of this best of 5. 2 more Stalkers are making their way across the map, but there's no more money for extra warp-ins. Yeah, 33 workers against 10. 10 Stalkers against 11. Sure, there's no Blink here for Classic, but the batteries more than make up for that, as yeah, single shots will be good enough here for Classic to one-shot Stalkers, or almost one-shot Stalkers, and none of his Stalkers are going down. Even cocky enough right now to start moving out. GG gets called, and Classic wins game number 1 here on Lightshade. Game number 2 here between Classic and DPG's herO will be played on 2000 Atmospheres. 2000 Atmospheres, currently my favorite map in the map pool. Not necessarily to play it, but to watch it. I think it's a fantastic map to watch. Tends to be lots of interaction between the players. It's not the hardest map to hold a third or a fourth, but it's also not super easy. These rocks provide some value early on, but later on when they get taken out, this base becomes very open. Fourth base is relatively open, and the fifth base is difficult to hold, which usually allows for lots of play around that fifth base location. Even around the fourth base, often we see something there. I'm curious to see if that's going to be the case this time around as well. We have it. What is this wall? Holy crap. No shot, you're getting hired by Donald Trump, buddy. What is this? It's the wrong way around. He's gonna gateway here, right? And then have... ridiculous. Okay, so the reason this isn't that great is really quite simple. And that is because your probes need to take a longer route around here to get into their natural, which costs you minerals every single time. Sure, it doesn't look like much, but if you're transferring over 16 workers and it costs, let's say, maybe 3 to 4 minerals to make the little detour, yeah, that's still gonna be like, what, 50 or so? Yeah, almost 50 minerals. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, especially because there's no real advantage from having the hole in the wall be over here. It's also nice that if you get blinked into your main base, is that you can take a more defensive position towards this area rather than having to walk over here, because it tends to be difficult to get enough space to get all your units on top of the ramp. So there's actually no advantages for building your hole in the wall over here, and there's lots of disadvantages, which makes it just have no sense whatsoever. We see a Stargate Proxy opener here out of Classic. Personally, I'm a huge fan of this build. I love this build so much. And there's a very simple reason for it. It allows you to get a very rapid Stargate. Your opponent has a difficult time doing medium aggression across the map. So if your opponent starts with like 4 Stalkers and starts walking across the map, that tends to be bad for your opponent, because the Oracle either forces out a very fast battery and can then still build stasis, or just kills 7-8 workers and wins the game. And with 4 Stalkers, you can't kill someone opening with a Proxy Stargate. So it's not good enough. Now the weaknesses are the more dedicated all-in. So let's say a 3-gate, a 3rd-gate Proxy for example, and then an 8 Stalker push into the Proxy Stargater. That could be an issue, because then with a battery, all of a sudden the Classic in this case would just be in a lot of trouble. However, this time it looks like the opening is going to be 6 Adept with Phoenix. I have no clue how herO decided to go for this. Perhaps he got some type of clue that he is being Proxy Stargated. Perhaps Classic did it before, because holy crap, this is a wild play. Especially looking for that Oracle. This is insanity. Holy cow, it's gonna be double Oracle save up. Okay. He's gonna save up the Oracles because he hasn't been spotted yet. herO hasn't bothered to scout whatsoever with a probe to look for the proxies. herO is aware right now. Yeah, this is insane. herO's aware there's a Nexus. If I was herO, I'd be thinking, okay, this is going to just be a proxy pylon. Like, there's nothing there, because who saves up 2 Oracles? And apparently the answer is Classic, but who saves up 3 Phoenixes at home? The answer here is... well, herO. This is the toughest game I've watched in my life. Still gonna be able to get a lot of worker kills though. 6 workers have gone down. And... oh my god, there's a full wall. Yeah, okay, this is extremely painful. There's going to be 8 adepts. I think this is a cancel. I think he needs to cancel. He's not gonna cancel, but I think he needs to. He's gonna get 6 Stalkers right now, but there's 4 Phoenixes out as well already. There's 8 adepts. You can't walk down here. There's no way. I just don't see it happen. These Phoenixes I don't think should be going for probes. I actually think these... well, I mean, maybe at this point it doesn't even matter. There's just absolutely no way that I can see herO not get this Nexus. Here... what is herO doing at the same time? He's getting a Robo. It's gonna be taking out this Nexus. Okay. But what is this? This is some heavy role-playing, I can assure you that. Okay, yeah, this gets taken out. A couple of these adepts will go down, but so will a bunch of probes. I'm not quite sure what trade I like more. So he's gonna be killing 3 adepts here. Yeah, 3 adepts, and he lost, well, a bunch of workers, honestly, about 8. What is he doing? Role-playing Randy over here. Ah, hidden base. Of course, this game. Like it could get any weirder. We saw a double Oracle save up against a triple Phoenix save up into a pylon at the natural, into a pylon. Is this blocking? Is that the reason why I didn't build a Nexus here? I think this is blocking. Actually, I'm 100% sure this is blocking his Nexus. If you put it at one line, yeah, he blocked his own Nexus. This is amazing. Okay. He's not actually role-playing, he just misplaced. Not only did he mess up his wall, but then also blocked his own Nexus. This is hilarious. And the worst part is that right now, I think it's actually kind of good that he doesn't have the Nexus in the natural. He can just counterattack with Adepts, he can counterattack with Phoenixes if he wants to, and he's still getting his own Nexus up. The only problem is, how is he ever going to defend it? I don't really have an answer for that. I just don't, because Blink Stalkers give you map control. This is so silly, because Classic right now is just containing his opponent. The Classic like, well, if I get my own Nexus down and manage to contain my opponent, this looks pretty decent for me. Oh my god. This is gonna be an extremely stupid game. It already is an extremely stupid game. I feel like it's going to get even dumber. And I'm loving every single second of it. Proxy Oracle, double save up into Proxy Nexus. Meanwhile, we have 4 Phoenixes flying around. And there needs to be something at home for Classic. He needs to defend something. So he needs to build Stalkers at home, which means it delays his own Nexus. He still wants to build that Nexus ASAP, of course, because if you're containing your opponent, you need to be getting something that puts you ahead. So that can either be better tech or more eco. And in this case, it's going to be more eco, because there's not really a way to get better tech at this point. Because you're gonna have to stick with Blink Stalkers, you just need more of them. herO is up in army supply, and herO right now, this is so silly, because he should actually be pretending that he wants to go downstairs, but he doesn't want to go downstairs. He's completely content just staying here, but he needs to pretend like he truly cares about getting the low ground. So we're gonna see a little bit more role-playing here out of herO. He's like, oh no, I can't believe it that I can't go to my low ground. So he should actually be trying to pretend to poke down, you know? Yeah, I think Classic saw the fact that the... What was that blink? That had to be a misclick, no? Like he wanted to walk up and blink back, but instead he just blinked up. As non-intentional. Okay, yeah. If I were herO, I would start pushing into the force field while he was still there. So he sees, he really wants to get it. I like that he has this tower as well. So he has a little bit of an extra warning if he ever gets attacked here. I wouldn't mind if, herO going into blink, I think is a good call. Usually I'd say with this type of army, you want to go into charge. But because his base is so far away, I think the blink is a fantastic call. I think herO's just going to walk across the map, kill his opponent. He has a fantastic army. Classic's going to be so surprised, because he's been getting outmined for a while now. And that's only going to increase more and more. This is such a nice little touch as well. This is not just a hidden base. It's like an entire hidden colony. You know, there's extra gateways. And the reason why he's doing that is, if his opponent scouts his main base with a hallucination and sees 6 gateways, Classic's gonna be like, hey, why does he have 6 gateways on one base? Like, that doesn't make no sense. We'll start scouting for a Proxy Nexus. So instead, the extra added gateways go, of course, to the hidden base. Battery over there as well, in case anything ever shows up, whether that's a zealot or just even an army. I mean, having a battery is always nice. And now herO actually is going to contain his opponent while getting a 3rd base himself. This is so good. And Classic will look at this and think, hey, oh my god, I love this. There not being a base yet is fantastic. Classic right now probably should actually be adding batteries. If I was Classic, I'd be like, hey, wait a second. I want more batteries. Like, if I defend this, I just win the game. So he's gonna get sentries, he's gonna get batteries, yeah. Completely cutting pro production. And you actually just, even if, I think you just don't want to show a Nexus, and you're going to be completely fine. Phoenix is trying to get some damage on into the main base. Not a single worker being produced right now for Classic. Classic completely blindsided by this Proxy Nexus. Oh, this is a hilarious game. I love this so much. And herO isn't even trying. I think he still should pretend, you know? You need to roleplay a little bit more. Yeah, this is the roleplay we need. Oh, look at me. I need to kill you so bad. And that moves back. Look how scared Classic is. He's not building any workers. Oh, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Classic on 23 workers. But he has an extra base. Now he's going to scout. Is he? Where's he going? No, he's just gonna go around to see if there's a Nexus yet. Once he'll see this Nexus, he'll continue, or I guess he'll start his production. This is such a funny game. I absolutely love this. Personally, I really, really love this. herO played this fantastic. Fantastic way of playing. Blocks his own Nexus into Proxy Nexus. Starting with the Phoenix save up as well. This is the sickest PvP game I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes people tell me, hey Kev, I hate PvP because it feels so random. And I'm like, no. PvP is a beautiful matchup. And you know, the better player wins. And then you have this type of game. And herO and Classic ruining my years of well thought out propaganda. As herO now goes back home. Classic's gotta be a little bit confused. They're like, this guy has been... Is he mineral hacking or something? Like, how is it possible that his army is so huge? Because Classic is making all the correct moves. You know, getting a Stargate now as well is going to be going into some Phoenixes, most likely himself, to try and deal with these disruptors. Because I think Classic did scout that there was a Robo Bay. Did he? Wait, where's the Robo? Oh, Robo Bay was proxied. Maybe he saw the disruptors though. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to get absolutely blasted. Classic now says, ta-da, the charade is up. The fun is over, my friend. I'm just going to blink on top of you. Classic's gonna rewind this game and be like, oh my god, you little prick. Like, look at this, just blinks over it with like half of his army and shoots a disruptor. Just what an insanely stupid game. I love this. No, I adore this. This is the greatest game that has ever been played. Disruptors are rolling in. The plane outside is making some noise. And game 2 gets won by herO. Score is 1-1. We'll be heading in game number 3. Game number 3 between Classic and herO here on Beckett Industries. Oh, look at that. Classic looking for cannon rushes. He's afraid. This is a man that has seen some stuff in his life. That's a man that has seen some stuff in his life. Oh, yeah. Where's he gonna go? It's a gateway scout, by the way. Very common in Korea these days. Koreans not at all believing in the one gate expand anymore. If they would, they wouldn't be gateway scouting so much. In Europe, most people still gateway scout, especially because MaxPax plays one gate expand every single game. And against one gate expand, it's really nice to have a fast scout on the other side of the map. You can either decide to block your opponent's Nexus, or you can still go ahead and do a reactionary proxy. Imagine if herO right now was playing one gate expand. This probe would have not been in time to go for a reactionary proxy. Because it would have scouted, hey, there's a Nexus at like 142, 143. The problem is if you want to do a second pylon proxy, you need to start your second pylon at 142, 143. And very often you start it even earlier, like 138-ish. So you probably already have it building at home and you don't have time to hide it anywhere. Which means that either you have to build it here and go for a Stargate proxy, aggressive void ray, which isn't great, or your proxy is going to be late. So things like proxy Stargate Oracle, proxy Robo slightly far away, all of these things are just not doable with a gateway scout, which makes it a little bit worse against. Ooh, I like that a lot. I do like that a lot. herO, however, decided to go for Stalker into Stargate. Now, this is the type of build order that has a later proxy, but has a more hidden element to it. Because very often, if you scout your opponent, which this even was a fake second pylon in the main, fake third pylon. So the only way that Classic could have figured this out is because herO didn't scout and because a probe still was missing. So right now, ooh, you need to be careful here, herO. You can't get spotted there. Oh, he sees it. Classic sees a second probe come back. Huge error there out of herO. Huge, huge, huge. What is the response going to be? I don't think Classic saw it. I don't think Classic was paying attention. Otherwise he would have something in his main base. Now, this Oracle, it hits about 15 to 20 seconds later than a regular Proxy Oracle, but it has the nice thing is that it still hits before Warp Gate finishes. So you're gonna be fighting against 4 to 6 gateway units, which most of the time are just going to be on the low ground. Now the Oracle comes in, starts dishing out damage. 4 workers go down. Need to be careful not to lose it. Second Oracle also gets started. Come on, herO, you can be serious. Oh my god, he gets away. No way, he don't get away. Yeah, I got taken out. Way too greedy there. Maybe thought that he could hide in the corner and then realized, wait a second, this is not that map. Also building a crap ton of Stalkers here, by the way. Actually going up to 6. Before getting any type of secondary tech, second Oracle is moving in. It's also gonna go down. Yep, there's no escape possible here. herO, this is not how you want to do it. One worker gets taken out by this Oracle. Now the Stalkers are moving in, but there's no threat anymore for the main base. Classic still believes that there might be a third Oracle, but I'm surprised he does. Probably is going to need another warp in here to deal with this. There's 1 force field remaining now. Now 2 force fields. Sentries are being sent down as well. Needs to be very careful. Brilliant force field here out of Classic, who is going to hold. Will be able to take out at least 1 more Stalker. And if herO isn't careful, maybe even another one. 2 Adepts right now are moving in. There's no Adept, or sorry, no probe here on the ramp. So these Adepts will be able to enter the base and take out... what's gonna be? 3 workers maybe? 2 Stalkers deal with them so poorly. 3-4 Stalkers is so much more effective, and it's gonna end up being 4 workers. It's a decent amount. So Adept even is gonna go into the main base, or into the natural, and get another worker down here. Yeah, 5 workers total. That's a decent amount for 2 Adepts that probably could have been expected here as a follow-up. Blink has started for both players at the same time, which is kind of sad for Classic, obviously, because it's his first tech structure, while it's herO's second tech structure. herO also has faster extra gateways, is up 6 workers, so overall I'm kind of liking herO's position here. The only thing he is lacking currently is scouting abilities, but that's not going to be a big issue if his opponent doesn't get a Dark Shrine, or a hidden base. This pylon. What is that pylon doing there, ladies and gentlemen? I do not know. Are we gonna see another pylon? I think so, yep. It was just randomly... this is gonna be for a proxy gateway, that's for sure. Yeah, that's a proxy gateway pylon. That's no regular. That ain't no regular pylon, my friends. Is this lava? Magma. It's a red river, baby. Looks beautiful though. Nice looking map. All the crystals and everything. 5th gate is coming down here. Immortal starting immediately for Classic. He wants to get... He's going to be forced into the more defensive position here. Stalker count should be relatively close. herO, of course, with a slight lead. Now warping in 4 Stalkers at a time and is going to increase his lead in the Stalker numbers. Battery is not quite done yet. Sentries will be able to maybe win some time here until the Immortal comes out. Ooh, Guardian Shield over force fields. Okay. See how this fight will develop. For now, herO trading out better. Battery will finish up and the first Immortal joins the fray. +1 on the way as well right now for Classic, and I think he will hold at least temporarily. These random pylons scattered around the map do provide nice warp-in locations for herO, but it does also show that it's a little bit of a liability here, potentially. Because... Oh! It's gonna lose 2 Stalkers here for free. Painful loss if you're working off a build that requires a lot of momentum. But yeah, what I was going to say is that... Oh! Blink forward, hold that thought. As 2 Immortals are out, but not quite in position. Perhaps he's gonna blink on top of these Immortals even. Oh, 1 Immortal is gonna get taken out. Second Immortal's gonna get taken out, but at what cost? 77 workers remain, or 77 supply remaining for Classic. Same actually for herO, who warps in 5 more units. 4 Stalkers, 1 Zealot. Zealot for potentially tanking a new Immortal. But that Immortal isn't out yet. Neither is the +1 blink forward here out of herO. And he's looking to finish the game. The Immortal will join. And I think it's going to come at a very fortunate time here for Classic. I'm not quite sure if herO can even take out that Immortal without massive losses. No, the Immortal will stay alive. Blink forward to save his own Immortal. Needs to be careful, still ends up falling. But this was a fantastic trade there. The Immortal in the back, the flanking Immortal, providing a lot of value here for the blue Protoss player who has 2 batteries up, +1 close to finishing, and once +1 finishes up and the next Immortal is out, I think that herO's pressure might end. But until then, herO still looking mighty fine. Charge finished up for him as well. Zealots are moving forward. Immortal gets sniped, but I don't think you can straight up engage Stalker against Stalker. I love this little Zealot run by here, forcing these probes off the line, taking out a couple of probes. We have another big warp in, and right now this is going to target down, I can only assume, a couple of these batteries. Blink forward, no, instead decides to fight away from the batteries. Now blinks on top of the Stalkers, one-shotting Stalker after Stalker after Stalker. Zealots are still alive. Where's your Immortal? Where is your Immortal? He went for an Observer instead, afraid of DTs, and now Classic's in a little bit of trouble. Where's his army? His supply is so high, but none of that seems to really be an army anymore, and his supply also isn't that high at all anymore. What is the gateway count? He's still only on 3 gateways, single robotics facility. Super battery is not here. GG gets called as herO with relentless aggression manages to secure game number 3 and put himself on match point in this best of 5. Game 4 and potentially the final game here in this best of 5 between herO and Classic is going to be played on Romanticide. And if I know one thing about Romanticide, is that it's a very large map and it's extremely easy to defend. So seeing an aggressive game like last game, I think, is a little bit unlikely. We have herO and Classic. Ooh, this time Classic is going to be going for a gateway scout, first gateway scout, so known as the 16 scout, of course. Second gateway scout, like I mentioned before, a little more risk involved, and that's what herO is going for indeed. Classic can still decide after scouting his opponent to go for a proxy, of course. There's no limits to the abilities of the proxy player. He could just scout the natural and then say, hey, there's nothing here, okay, I'll proxy. Interesting wall here. It's gonna get a cyber core over here, I guess. Huh? This is a 3x3 wall. It is in range of the pylon, so technically he can wall this with a gateway, but that's kind of expensive, and very often in the early game you don't have that type of money. So if your opponent opens a depth to depth, that would be really expensive. Especially because every time you build a gateway, you'd also need to cancel it afterwards. I don't like this, I really don't. A depth to depth coming out of herO though. So he's going to be the one that takes control first. Oh, Classic, I wasn't paying attention at all. Actually went for a high ground gateway, and after scouting that he wasn't getting scouted early, decided to go for 1 gate expand. Now we see a Stargate being constructed at home. 2 adepts opening up. Okay. Alright. Oh, that changes things a little bit. We should be seeing a very fast Stargate here, actually. I'm surprised we're not. Classic going for what? Warp Gate, Stalker before tech? That's extremely risky. And a Robo as a follow-up, so Classic believes that his opponent right now is either going to be playing a masked gateway opener or a proxy Robo. Not realizing that there's a Stargate at home, and herO is just going to be going into a Nexus here. Oh, I love this move so much. Pretending to proxy, but once it got spotted, immediately starts a Stargate at home. Classic will be scouting towards the other side of the map. If these adepts kill this worker, that would be a big deal. But still, that is adept 3 and 4, and I think Classic should realize that. It's like, hey, wait a second. Something weird is going on. Why would you? Yep, immediately starts a pylon here. I think he just realized what's happening. He's like, hey, wait a second, this ain't cool. Starts chronoing as well, like a madman. Yeah, wants to get that next unit out. Oh, yeah, he needs to get batteries. But there's only a single sentry down here. These 4 adepts will be... Oh, it should be cancelled, If they would have gone straight for the sentry, that would have been huge. Now they're gonna start moving in. Sentry, very vulnerable, gets 1 shot. Of course it does. There's nothing in the main base currently. This battery is going to be too late. This Oracle is going to absolutely wreak havoc in the main base. Yeah. That is almost just it. That is so much damage being dealt here by a single Oracle. And the problem with Robo Openers is that you just don't have any counterplay. Any counterplay you can do involves a quick prism and is so extremely obvious that it's almost an insult to your opponent's intelligence. herO immediately going for Blink as well, rather than getting a second Oracle. I don't even mind that at all. I don't even mind that at all. 6 Adepts are shading in. We'll be able to do a little bit of damage, not too much. Shades into the main base. Yep, this is game. This is game, ladies and gentlemen. This is over. There's absolutely no way that Classic is going to be holding this. 16 workers. He didn't even start a prism yet. There's an observer here on the left side. Down 13 workers. Down infinitely in tech. And he's still not even mining from his natural. The Oracle is still alive as well. Right now even returned back home for a potential counterattack with Adepts from Classic. But that's not even gonna come there. Classic just doesn't have the money to send anything out on the map. Yeah, Classic right now is just he is a very, very sad Protoss player. As this Adept, oh my god, doesn't even get taken down. With 3 HP it survives. 2 kills. Another notch on his belt. GG gets called. Classic realizes the pickle he's in. And taps out herO. Takes a series 3-1 and shows the vulnerability of Classic in PvP. That worries me a little bit for his GSL match against Zest.